are you? I'm Jaya Love, and I want to do a video review and a flip through of Colette Baron-Reid's new The Good Tarot. So I'm a huge fan of her artist, Jena, how do you say her name? Jena DellaGrottaglia. Sounds very Italian and hard to pronounce. Her art is in most of Colette's decks, and so I really buy the decks for the art. I appreciate her skill. I do digital art myself, so she's a really amazing Photoshop artist. So I was really excited to finally get a tarot deck made by these guys, and I always appreciate what Colette has to say in her oracle decks. So this is the box. It's a really nice sturdy box. It's a little tight, but that's nice. It won't open on accident. Okay, here's the book. It's your standard kind of nicer book that comes with these nicer decks in the boxes. Let's see. It just shows a little bit on each card. There's a little main description and then some quotes. Let's see about the major arcana. Yeah, the major arcana is very minimal writing. I would have loved to have seen her elaborate a little bit more on the majors. I have a lot to say about the cards, but right now I'm just going to talk about the book a little bit. So, like some people have mentioned, it is in the tarot structure, but it's very non-traditional, especially in terms of the minors. And she kind of purified it and made it nice and good, as in the good tarot. I don't know if that means other tarots are bad, but yeah, it's interesting she named it that. And at the very beginning it says, "Welcome to my new oracle deck." But then it goes on, it says it's a special tarot deck that came to her from a calling from Spirit, and so on. And so there she's kind of saying it's an oracle deck and a tarot deck, which it sort of is. So it goes into her history with tarot, why the good tarot now. Somewhere in here she talks about working with the good tarot, and at some point she talks about numerology. Here she talks about the cards. It's probably in here. She's talking about, yeah, the court cards and what they mean to her and how they embody each element, because she's doing the suits in the elements, the earth elements, or so earth, air, fire, and water for pentacles, swords, wands, and cups. And so she's explaining here how each court card is represented in each suit. Like the pages are always new beginnings and so on. The messengers, which I guess are kind of like the knights, they bear news of adventures and are catalysts for change. The queens are the connectors. They bring people together. And then kings are the doers of the court. That's just in a nutshell what she says about the courts. So that's nice. That's a pretty solid system, I think. And then we get into the numbers of the good tarot. So to me, and I'll show you the cards in a minute, it looks like what she's done is she's made the minors based on a system more about numerology. Because she goes in and talks about what each number means to her. Like aces are the driving primal force. 2 is an energy of collaboration. 3 is the force of expression, and so on. So I think what she's doing, and you'll see this in the cards, is that each of the numbers in a minor suit is going to be kind of similar in each suit, because she's basing it more on this numerology thing, where so every 2 has the energy of collaboration or a partnership, which isn't very traditional in terms of Rider-Waite-Smith, because like what's popping into my head, 2 of Swords is usually, you know, the woman with the swords. It's kind of an impasse or trying to make a decision or going within and trying to make a decision. So that's not really an energy of collaboration or partnership. So it definitely strays in the minors from the traditional meanings. So yeah, standard little book. Let's see, does she give any spreads? Things to think about. I'm not seeing any spreads drawn out. Okay. So I'm going to just show you the card backs here. They're very simple, nice emerald, royal looking green. And then I'm going to switch to another view so we can look at all the cards in a flip through. Okay, so here is the flip through of the cards. I'm going to try to be concise so we can get through all of them. There's the Fool. I love Jena's art. It's really beautiful. It does look a little confusing, like Judgment, since there's a person playing a trumpet. I guess it could be sort of like the meaning of fresh beginnings. At least it says the word fool, so we know it's a fool. Okay, and here is the Magician, and he doesn't have any magical accoutrements, but he does have a pretty penetrating gaze, so I could see him doing some magic with that gaze. Oh, and the cardstock is really nice. It's shimmery, shiny, thick enough. It's got that total oracle card feel, so that's cool. High Priestess. Well, she definitely looks like a woman connected to some mysteries. There's some traditional goddess symbols there. Looks like she's got some activity in her third eye. So that's a pretty good High Priestess. Empress, nice. See, she's kind of representing harvest and fertility here. That looks nice. I'm loving these borders too. A lot of them have really cool borders. They're very they're different for every card. Okay, Emperor, yes. He looks like a guy you don't want to mess with. And he looks like he's in his power. That's a good Emperor. Hierophant. This one could be a little confusing, I think, because she's got this crescent moon, which reminds me of the High Priestess, and these wings, which remind me of Judgment or Temperance. And then this whole table of magical tools, which sort of reminds me of the Magician. But all that being said, I could see how she could be some kind of traditional religious or spiritual teacher, bringing down the message, or maybe writing the message. This ring reminds me of a Lenormand ring with contracts, so there might be some kind of contractual, magical stuff going on. Genie in a bottle, who knows? She's a very magical looking Hierophant. Okay, Love. Here's the first card in the majors that really rubs me the wrong way, and it's sad because it's the Lovers card, which should be, and is usually one of my favorites. So here's where I think they really should have paid attention to traditional structure, because this looks just like a strength card. She's laying there with a lion. And I think lovers should be two people, not a person and an animal. It's not about the fuzzy, wuzzy, familial love or love of a pet or an animal. It's like lovers. So that's a little bit straying. I think what happens too is, just to get back into it, we have Colette, who's the writer, and Jena, who's the artist. So I'm sure Colette is leading this whole thing, and I don't know how good of a communicator she is, or what she's telling Jena, or how Jena is following that, like what their system is. With Oracle decks, it's pretty easy because you can just be like, this card's going to be about embracing your shadow. And then Jena could just come up with whatever beautiful piece of art that makes her think of embracing the shadow. That's very easy, but when you come to a structure of a tarot, you need to pay attention to some things. So I don't know if Colette is telling Jena, hey, this is the Lover's card. Here's the traditional one. I want it to look kind of traditional. It needs to have these elements. Or if she's just like, make me a card about love. Who knows? And I don't know what either of their histories are with tarot either. So that would be really good to find out. It feels like she's shortcutting it a little bit. Like she's just kind of slapping together a tarot deck based on the way she does oracle decks, which you can't do. Chariot, I really love this one. It's beautiful. It totally gives the Chariot message. She's in power, that she's got her will going. She's commanding these horses on her journey. Strength, really beautiful. Again, it looks a lot like the Love card. Not sure why she made 2 Strength cards instead of a Lovers and a Strength card, but I do love the Strength card. Okay, the Hermit is a pretty cool stray from traditional meanings. We have the keys, like this Hermit holds the keys that unlock the door of mystery. And you can see a little bit, there's, sorry about the glare, there's a face there coming through and like this illuminated heart chakra, so I could see that working. Fortune's wheel, nice. Looks like love is controlling the wheel. That's nice. Justice. Beautiful Justice. She's very traditional. She's got some wings, but I think that's cool. And she's got this big moon behind her, which I like. She's got the sword and the scales. Hanged Man. Love it. He's hanging. Looks like he's going for it. Surrendering as he should. Again, another big moon. It's nice. Transformation. So this would be the Death card. And I can see, you know, transformation seems to be a sort of common substitute when you don't want to get into the darkness of tarot. You say something like transformation instead of death. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of like the darkness ending and something transforming. We just have this little girl blowing some magical stuff off of her hand. Patience. Okay, so this is what she did with Temperance. I can see that if you want to, you know, make it a soft and fluffy tarot, you would change Temperance to Patience. It's kind of a similar feeling. Temperance is about moderation, which could be translated to patience. And she's got a little clock there. Okay, Devil becomes Temptation. I guess I can see here, it looks like she's tempted and fallen asleep at the wheel of her life because all these things are tempting her. Tower, well, that's a very beautiful tower. It doesn't say anything to me about cataclysmic destruction or ego destruction or resurrection or falling. There's no lightning, there's nothing. It looks like an inviting tower to me, so I think she got that one a little wrong, honestly. The Star. She's not pouring anything, but she is with the water. She's got more of a moon thing going on. I would like to have seen some more stars. I guess there's a star sort of embossed in the moon there. It does capture the feeling, I think, of hope and beauty and calm after the storm. The moon, that's a pretty nice moon. It's definitely a very beautiful oracle deck-ish moon. Sun, I don't know if she really captured the spirit of the sun. I mean, there are some sunflowers. It's kind of a bright card, but it doesn't have that joyful, big, youthful feeling, like big abundance of sunny energy. It just feels more like, oh, I'm feeling eternal and enjoying the sun on my face. Kind of oracle deck looking. Okay, the Call. This would be her Judgment card. I think that's pretty nice. Big angel with a trumpet. Beautiful. Looks like coming down from heaven. And the World. I don't totally get this whole integration feeling here with the world. It's nice they showed a world. I don't know if that's another planet or what. Then there's a key. I'm not really sure how that's translating. All right. So let's get into the minors, which I'm a little bit more frustrated with. Okay, she starts with the court cards and the way the deck came. Here's the page of air. So again, I'm not going to go too much into the courts because I already described how she's saying it. The pages are sort of the beginnings, the initiators, messenger of air. These are the catalysts of the suit. Queen of air. I like her owl. And the king of air. So those are pretty cool. Not super grabbing me with the traditional meanings or even the meanings she said in her book, but I like them because the art's beautiful. Okay, ace of air. So we have a Pegasus here, that initiating energy. And then the two of air. So I am not totally jiving with how she makes these things, and then she says different things in the book. The book isn't really going with what she says in the cards, and the cards aren't really going with traditional meanings, so it's kind of like we have three different narratives going on. We have the narrative of the art that you see on the cards, which Jena made. Then you have the narrative of the book, which, as I said earlier, the twos are all supposed to be about partnership and stuff. I mean, there's two birds there. Maybe they're the partners. It just looks like sort of this beautiful, sensual oracle card vibe where she's in a beautiful pose. Now, as an insider, kind of behind the scenes idea, since I make digital art, I think what could be going on sometimes with these cards is that Jena is going and getting stock photos of models in certain poses, and so they're not actually making photo shoots with the people enacting the scenes as they are traditionally enacted in a tarot structure. So we're getting a lot, and you'll see these cards, it's just one person over and over and over, one person with somewhat of a semblance of the traditional meaning, or maybe a little bit from the book, but maybe not at all. Three of air, yep, she looks sad like the Three of Swords. Four of air, she looks kind of bored, more like the Four of Cups. But she could just be taking a rest. Five of air, nothing traditional about this. It's usually the people having had the big battle and the swords everywhere. Let's see what she says about fives, and then we'll look at what she says about Five of air. So five is the force of change, innovation, and dynamics within a group, flexibility, and the potential for necessary chaos influenced by the element. Think change can be good. Exploring new options before regrouping can help me refine what I'm co-creating and make it the best it can be. Okay, so I guess this could be sort of innovative. She's on a tightrope. It's definitely beautiful. Let's see what she says about the Five of air, if that has to do with this change and innovation. Okay, we've got page 3, 6, 7, 5. Okay. Five of air. Here, conflict is a good way to see my motives and intentions. I can use this experience to grow into a more authentic version of myself. It's not important to win, it's important to have integrity. Other people have different ways of thinking and may not always be in agreement with me. I'm open to this opportunity to live and let live. Okay, so here's where I'm just like, what? Okay, you're describing a traditional tarot meaning of the Five of Swords, but you're showing this and the card, which is like beautiful tightrope walker with clouds and birds and doves, which are peaceful. And then you have the five about change, innovation in a group. So yeah, there's a lot of different narratives going on. It doesn't feel like there was really much emphasis put on making things make sense with any kind of structure, whether the one she created or the traditional tarot structure. And it feels to me like there wasn't enough communication between Colette and Jena. That's just my take on it. So that being said, that's my biggest beef with the whole deck. Now I'm going to be more quiet and just show you all the cards because I'm sure you want to see them. 6 of air. That's pretty traditional. 7 of air. I'm not sure what's going on here. 8 of air. She looks a little miffed, like if she had swords around her, but she's up on a cloud with feathers flying. 9 of air. Definitely a little bit more, what is this? Transfiguration is the word that's popping into my head, not so much anxiety and worry with swords over your head in bed. And I'm noticing I'm not a huge Thoth person, but they don't follow the Thoth meanings either. 10 of air, like I think Thoth for this is ruin or something. That definitely doesn't look like ruin. The feathers are coming to get me and I'm blowing them away. Ah. Okay, so those are the air. I love the art. It's just beautiful art. It just doesn't go with the tarot structure. Okay, here's the page of fire, messenger of fire, queen of fire, king of fire, he's cool, ace of fire, that's cute, 2 of fire. Okay, here again we have no partnership or 2 people, just 1 person. Everything's just 1 person in this deck, pretty much. I don't know if there's any cards with more than 1 person. 3 of fire. She has this boat thing that keeps coming in that confuses me, but I guess that's your ship coming in, so that one's a little bit traditional. 4 of fire. Some element of celebration. 5 of fire. Not getting any traditional meaning here. She just looks sort of sure of herself with magical things going on around her. 6 of fire. Looks like the 6 of swords, but with the fire element. That's traditionally success. Oh, they made a successful boat. 7 of fire. I'm not getting this whole defending thing unless those fireflies are attacking the unicorn. But the unicorn kind of looks like it's about to take a leap. 8 of fire. Not getting like fast energy. There is a lot of energy at least. Could be taking a message there. 9 of fire. Not getting defending my property or what I've worked for much, just like some magical, mystical thing. That's just sort of the feeling you get with a lot of these cards. Like, ooh, it's a beautiful oracle card. It's magical and mystical. Woohoo! 10 of fire. Maybe a little overwhelmed with those things burning. Okay. Water. Page of water. That's a cute little page. Like lotuses. Colors are beautiful. Messenger of water. Lovely. Queen of water. Beautiful. I love the cup suits and the water suits. King of water, nice. Neptunian dude. Ace of water. Okay, little pearls. So I think the pearls are coming in a lot in this water element. We'll see if I remember correctly. 2 of water. 2 figures. Okay, so the 2 fish are like our lovers with the cups. 3 of water. We have 3 things, but again, it's 1 figure. Doesn't really speak to me, the real meaning. Sorry about that glare. I'm trying to watch it. 4 of water. Doesn't really say much to me except a bunch of floating orb pearls. 5 of water. Yep, she looks distraught. That one's capturing the emotion properly. 6 of water. Yes, she looks like she could be reminiscing about times gone by. 7 of water. That's pretty good. Looks like she's kind of caught up in illusion, trying to decide which to pick. 8 of water. something going away or coming in. I'm not really sure. This could be interpreted a lot of ways, but at least it has something interesting happening in the card. That, you know, there's different elements going on that you could pick up intuitive things from. 9 of water. That's kind of got a 9 of cups sense, like opulence. Wishes, maybe. Fulfillment. 10 of water. I like it. Definitely the happy Buddha. I would have loved to see more figures and family, but this deck seems to just do one figure because it's easier to do graphic design that way without doing a photo shoot. Okay. Page of Earth. Cutie. Love the art. Really sweet little card. Ooh, I like her too. I'm liking this earthy feel with the horns. She's gorgeous. This is the kind of thing where I'm just like, screw it. You know, it's just such beautiful art. I'll figure out something to do with it. Use it like an oracle deck. Definitely not a tarot deck. King of Earth. He looks nice. Okay, Ace. The stag. And there's this, I forget what that's called. Trifecta or something. Celtic triple spiral. 2 of Earth, yes, she's juggling there, nice. 3 of Earth. This is one of those that just sort of looks oracle decky to me. She's just standing there looking like a model from a stock photo with beautiful mystical things happening around her. 4 of Earth. Well, I love this card, and I could definitely get a lot out of it intuitively. It does not really have anything to do with the traditional meaning, which is sort of hoarding and containing, building your wealth. It looks more like she's offering. So that's nice. Just don't try to be traditional with it. 5 of Earth. This is the traditional one where they're out in front of the church looking for sanctuary and it's snowing on them, and so yeah, her head is down. She doesn't look too stoked about life. There's a black bird there. There are elements that are trying to show this, but again, this is what can I do without doing a Photoshop and just put one image of, or one figure in there, and it's just not enough going on for a tarot deck. 6 of Earth. I like this image. I'm sure people could get a lot of different intuitive hits off of this. It's not necessarily signaling to me giving and receiving. 7 of Earth. Well, nice. There's a guy in here. Young, beautiful man, and what's going on? He's having some communion with a fairy. So this is traditionally the, you know, hard work and patience and growing things. 8 of Earth. This is cool. This, I think it's a pretty cool interpretation of the 8 of Earth, like continually practicing your craft. 9 of Earth. She sort of seems like the opulent woman of means. She's growing something there. And the last card to show you is the 10 of Earth. And there is the dog from the traditional image. It does look like they looked at traditional tarot images, at least. They did put a dog in there. So she's got riches, she's got her dog, but where's her family? Where's anybody's family or lovers in this card? It's a very introspective solo journey deck. All right, so I am disappointed with their lack of, it seems, totally trying. Although some of those were nice. Some of those cup cards were really nice. I do like most of the majors. They're just so beautiful. I might just use this as a majors only deck. You know, I think what would be nice for this one would be maybe to do a reading with another tarot deck and then pull in this majors as sort of a wild card, oracle card based on the major arcana. Or maybe do some fun things like take the minors from another deck and then use the majors from this one. Lots of ways to get creative with it. The art is beautiful enough to make it worth getting, in my opinion. I just wish they would have tried a little harder to stick to some kind of structure, but yeah, I hope this has been helpful and given you something to think about, deciding whether to purchase this. Oh, you know, let's see. Let's see what this deck has to say. I'm going to just shuffle it and see if the deck can tell us what its gift is. Okay, one popped out. The Six of Earth. Okay. So if I were to just take this on intuitive basis, I would say that this deck is about aligning with your earthy nature and having a lot to give, really feeling your instinctual self and being confident out in the world. Stags to me remind me of a lot of confidence. They are leaders of the forest. Yeah, so I think getting earthy, really developing your leadership, giving something to the world, having something to offer. I can see that kind of like, you know, Colette and Jena stepping into this foreign tarot world and trying to do this. I mean, it's a good effort. I'd like to see them maybe learn from some of what I feel are some inconsistencies and maybe try again someday. But yeah, they're getting their grounding, getting their feet solid, finding their leadership in this whole other realm where Colette's definitely a leader in the oracle world already. So yeah, I mean, they're stepping into new ground, pushing their edges a little. I'm glad they did it. I'll always be a fan of Jena's art. It's so beautiful. So I'm happy to have this deck. Okay, thanks. Have a great day. Oh, and if you want to find me, I'm online at tarotmirrors.com. And then I have my personal site at jayalove.com, JAYALOVE.com. And I will link this deck and my websites in the description of the video. Thanks and have a great day.